fine. Somebody get bungalow chair.
And not in a good way. Yeah.
Sorry.
All in favor?
That's good. Everything. Like there was an update, and all of it. I'm sorry, whenever you're ready.
We ready? Okay.
Good evening. This is the work session for Northfield City Council, August 15th of 2023. This meeting was properly advertised in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, and in the Press of Atlantic City on January 7th of this year. May I have a flag salute led by Council Pro Tem Deweese, please?
All right.
Roll call, Mrs. Bucci?
Here.
Mrs. Carfano?
Here.
Mr. Deweese?
Here.
Mr. Leeds?
Here.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Palestina?
Here.
Mr. Chow? Mr. President?
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval of the minutes? Oh,
Second.
I skipped right to the meeting. Okay, motion to adjourn? That was quickest meeting ever. All right, committee reports. Mr. Leeds.
First of all, I'd like to start, expressing my deepest condolences to the family of, Deputy Chief, Robert Leeds of the, Northfield Fire Department, who passed away a couple days ago. The Deputy Chief, he retired as Deputy Chief and still an active firefighter, spent more than 50 years with this, city's fire company. That type of dedication is unheard of in the society, so I really want to extend my condolences to his, family. And also share that he passed on a legacy that's unmatched, with his son William, who's a current volunteer lieutenant, and his grandson Cole, who is a career firefighter here in the city. So, Deputy Chief, I just hope that you rest in peace and thank you for your dedication to this city. Speaking of the fire department, we had 49 fire calls in the month of July. 38 of them were first responder calls, 98 calls by Spirit into Northfield. 26 times we had to bring mutual aid in because there was either Title I call or called out of the city for emergency. And lastly, I want to thank firefighters, firefighter EMT Chris Sacco and Chris Trench, and as well as I don't know who the police officers were that responded last Friday, but there was a call for service here for City Hall. There's somebody that's his family to us, and they responded and needed that individual with dignity and professionalism. So I just want to thank them for being so quick, helping him get the treatment that he needed. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Deweese.
Thank you. The city hall light, we had a light installed to illuminate the actual sign, so if you get a chance, drive by and give me your thoughts. We changed the size of the light bulbs in there to brighten it a little bit, so try and if it
Yeah, it's not,
suits the need.
yeah, I stopped over. It's much better now. It helps quite a bit.
if it's not illuminated enough, we could put two more of the gooseneck lights on the front side of the sign to illuminate a little bit better, but I'm trying not to do that because I think it may look off balance a little bit. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on that.
Thank you.
Also, the columns for the front of the city hall are in. We're waiting for the schedule from C. Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we had a couple fences repaired out at the Little League field and the softball field. In addition to that, Public Works has removed 15 dead trees around the inner loop of the park. They were in danger of falling, so they basically just dropped them in place. That's about it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bucci.
I would also like to extend my condolences to the family and the Northfield Fire Department for the passing of retired Deputy Chief Robert Lee. I've only had interaction with him over the last couple of years. He's just a great person, and I want to thank him for his service. This is a terrible loss to our community. I want to commend the police department for this Chalk the Walk contest. Thank you for getting all the ice cream stores in town involved in that. Thank you for your outreach to the community. It's so nice to see the change in seeing our police out in the community and out with our businesses. So thank you so much for doing that. It looks like a really fun contest for the kids. Municipal Alliance Trunk or Treat. The date for that is October 7th from 5 to 7. Signups are now going on. Contact Shannon Campbell at City Hall. And I attended tonight the grand opening of the Ultimate Event Space, which is located at 331 Hilton Road. They are it's like a party venue. They supply everything but your caterer and your beverages or whatever. They part the tables and chairs and decorations, and it's a really cute space. It probably can fit like 30 people in there, but it's really a beautiful space. So I want to congratulate them and welcome to the community. As far as the Economic Development Commission is concerned, we continue to work with tryout on the economic element, and we're working closely with the planning board and the planning board engineer to get that accomplished. So we're moving forward. It's working out really well. And that's it for me.
Oh, thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two small items. The Northfield Community School will be open next time we meet, September 7th. The school year begins. So obviously we extend our best wishes for a successful opening to the school year as the summer winds down here. We don't want to admit it, but the kids will be back in school soon enough, so we wish them the best of luck as they open the school year. There was to be a county court meeting virtually last week, and it was canceled once again. So that's happened quite a bit lately. So nothing to report there in terms of the county court. And finally, I just want to echo the sentiments again to the Leeds family. The Leeds family has been a fixture in Northfield. I played Little League Baseball with Billy Leeds way back when, and Mr. Leeds was always around and always present, and certainly has certainly a record, a legacy of dedication to our city. So we commend him for that, and wish the family the best at this time. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Smith. Councilwoman Kirkbrand.
Thank you, Council President. As everybody else as well, condolences to the Leeds family. I'm friends with their family for a long time, so, and thank you for your many years of service. The Cultural Committee will be doing a fall flea market November 18th. More to follow on that. If you're interested, contact Joan Brennan on the Cultural Committee email for the city. For mainland, the next board meeting, there was a board meeting last night. The next board meeting is September 18th at 6, and there will be on August 30th, a freshman orientation and club sign up. So anybody who has an incoming freshman, make sure they get out to do that. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing I have is from my committee. I don't have anything from my committees, but I did attend the ACUA meeting out at the treatment plant. As it stands right now, they're doing very well against budget. They're about $589,000 ahead of budget, through the half a year, but, much of that is based on interest income that they received that they didn't anticipate because interest rates have climbed. But the main thing is, their expenses were, you know, a lot up and down as we go halfway through the year, but the main thing is that they're planning about $15 million in upgrades over the next several years. The plant was built in 1978, so a lot of the equipment is quite aged, and the new equipment will obviously cost all of us a little bit, but through the debt service, but the efficiency that they'll gain from it, and the cleaner air, what they do is they incinerate the waste after they dry it. So we're one of only 5 incinerators in New Jersey. By comparison, California has 1 in the whole state. So it's as through the years, that's one of the things that tend to go away is those incinerators, but then you have to bury the waste. So it is a better way of getting rid of it. Or you have to either ship it out of the state or bury it. Ocean County does do a program where they pelletize it and sell it as fertilizer, but that would be a different upgrade that they would have to do. But all that being said, Northfield, our lows are down by approximately 20% compared to what was budgeted. So we believe that's a lot of that has to do with the slip lining that we had done. So that's good news for us. So our fees will drop again going forward. Hopefully. Only other thing I'd like to mention is that, you know, obviously my condolences for the Leeds family, and then I just want to congratulate and thank everybody for Northfield Night Out. What a great success that was last month or beginning of this month. Switching it to Thursday night, had a lot of vendors, had a lot of participation, and it's always nice to see everybody out there and see all the police doing all the cooking. And that's all I have.
Tom, can I add something? I just want to give
Yes.
everybody an update about Mayor Chow. Some may or may not know, Mayor Chow is in the hospital. He is seeking or getting treatment to make himself feel better. So, but he is resting comfortably, and he hopes to be out in, you know, a couple of days. We're not certain about that, but I will keep everyone posted. Thanks for, you know, everyone asking and checking in. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any update? Don't have any update on the EV proposals, ad hoc committee, food trucks? Any?
Mr. Nassar, have you had a chance to look at the food truck ordinance?
Let's look at the and there's a couple of things we need to talk about. Well, my concern is something we get elected.
There's an event for the whole week. The license, there's a master license, background checks, everything, and then there's a per event permit. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Affordable housing, I don't believe we have anything to add at this time. Nor,
Oh, that's down here, isn't it? I can do it now.
Okay, yeah, you, never mind.
okay, we'll wait.
I mean, we can probably take that off as an ad hoc, I think.
Yeah. I think that we
I
should.
mean, unless that was designed to deal with like Oak Avenue and all those other things.
Well, they're separate projects. They're not. I think the ad hoc was the overall affordable housing.
Okay.
They overlap. Okay. Stormwater? No update? No update on the sale of the properties. We're still waiting on the
Well, that's
habitat
not-
or that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I got the title reports. We ordered the title reports for the three properties. One of them is, there's no records found, so we can't, and that is, 121-1. So they were unable to find any last deed of record to that property. And it's a title company and that's their business, so I'm assuming if they can't find it, it's not out there. The other two properties, 69/101.02 and 6611, got both title reports. We do in fact own both properties. As far back as 1942 and the second property back to 1958. Both titles appear clear to me. They're clear of any judgments. They're clear of any open mortgages of record. There's no tidelands claims on either property. And the city itself is clear of any bankruptcy court judgments or any judgments against it, as well as the Patriot Act search. So we're clear of all that. On Block 69, there are two easements of record that came about in 2011. One's a utility easement, so I'm assuming something happened in that area back in 2011, and we encumbered the properties with two easements, but I don't anticipate that they will affect the development of the parcel at all. So next step will be for me to send this off to, what's the name, Mary? Habitat? Yeah, so I'll get them off to Habitat and see if they're interested in purchasing. And Mary, I do have the two invoices from Surety for the two title searches if you haven't gotten them.
Thank you, sir.
So what happens with the one, with lot 120, with block 121, lot 1?
I don't know. I mean, if we can't find a deed of record, I don't think we can necessarily say we own it. I mean, it's on our tax rolls as us, but we have no support for that. I can ask the title company what else they can look into, but I think that one may be a dead end.
Okay.
Who's been maintaining this property?
Who's maintaining it? I have no clue.
We are.
We are.
Well, that pretty much
That's
clears it
what
up.
They can't find a last deed of record.
But there are no.
There is none.
They can't find a last deed of record. I don't know how to say that.
If you go to the property, it's not even be there.
It might be on that map, but.
I mean, the property's here, the deed ain't. So I can find out what Surety suggests and
Okay.
maybe try to.
Somebody has to own it.
Somebody has to have it. It might be something to do with, something to do for Bob Bishop, who's that mole guy I referred to in the past. But he's gonna be expensive, so at some point we have to figure out, is it worth it?
Yeah,
It probably had something to do with when we acquired the railroad property, or like that.
all right, it's next, yeah, it's right off that, okay. Maybe
So
there's,
do you want me to try to get a number from Bob Bishop? As to what it would cost him to try to research the title?
It might not be a bad idea to
Yeah.
get, because that's in our plan
Mhm.
as,
as affordable,
what's it called? Reasonable potential.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll do
please.
that.
Okay, moving on to, well, grants, I think we have some discussion on Sacred School grant. Yes, I mean, we don't have any other new grants, so that's a new grant.
Part of the grant now, they outlined that, one, the big bicycle. They put working. With the sidewalk, or like. Bike, or you have. Look.
And that would be, and one of the things would be the beacon at Zion and the bike path. Oh, and Mill. Three off, okay.
Can we get crosswalks out of that and everything? I think, I like to sit down. What was that report? That's done by Dan Popinski, your office, right, 250? Have you, looked at that? I assume you have. Okay.
What do we do for the people who live on the west side of Route 9? They don't have like that, they don't have anything like that. We got some,
Safe routes to school.
I know, but we have
But
kids go
there's
to school
portions
now.
of Oak and then Cedarburg. That's, so when we repave Oak, are all the crosswalks gonna be in that paving project for Oak?
Oh, that, yes, we have,
The crosswalks that are faded and,
with their depth.
yeah, okay.
Any,
Just in general, everybody west of Route 9,
We do.
yeah, but there's no opportunity for that.
the city problem is, one is, originally we thought of having sidewalk on Cedar Bridge.
Mhm.
The problem is right of way, we don't have the right. There's a lot of sections yet on 33 feet, so there's no room to have a sidewalk. Finding right of way would be, you guys know, it's gonna
Right, but the state route to school come down Burton and along Mill, so there's crosswalks and stuff we could update on Burton as well.
we can have that, but that's, the project has to be one project. That can have that rate. So basically, it's gonna be the bike path section with all devices and realigning the bike path, okay, widening.
But there's more routes that are safe routes to school, not just the bike.
Right, but you know, like, the grant usually apply for a section, you can't just split it up.
I don't need that at all, man.
It has to be continuous, right?
Yeah, but I think to get the grant, you're doing one section that's supposed to. It's like, they create.
That's what more to talk about.
Yeah. Um. And this, and we need this in by November, though, or,
I'm for it, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please. I think we're all in agreement. Okay, at this time, can we, everybody please refer to the agenda?
No.
Approval of the minutes, Councilwoman Carfagno, Councilman Smith. Ordinance 11, Councilman Smith and Councilman Deweese. The resolutions, is there anyone that wants anything pulled from the consent agenda? Okay, consent agenda 147 through 160, Councilman Leeds and Councilman Deweese. Ordinance 12, Councilwoman Bucci and Councilman Leeds. Payment of bills, Councilman Deweese and Councilwoman Carfagno. And meeting notices, Councilman Smith.
Sorry, could you please tell me who the second one was
Councilman Leeds,
and payment of bills?
Deweese and Carfagno.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic, we ask you please step forward and state your name and address for the record.
Tom Boyd, 117 Northfield Avenue. Question on the realignment of, the bike path at Zion and, Wabash and Bar Avenue. Is that what we're talking about? I know.
Just a minor, that's how the black path comes in and design, but for the radius, when I get that. even.
Okay.
So these are the-
Yeah, because of some of the, living right at that intersection. I sometimes have to hold my breath watching people, particularly coming from the Tilton Road side. That don't even slow up for that crosswalk on the bike path because they can't see what's coming on Zion from the Tilton Road, Tilton Road to Martha. Yeah, that would be a vast improvement. But at least, then it's the cyclists or pedestrians more responsible for, safe crossing. Good point. Secondly, the discussion on, habitat. As a former member of the former chapter of Atlantic County Habitat, I know revenue is important, okay? My experience in the past with Habitat, with other communities, Pleasantville, Atlantic City, Galloway Township, Hamilton Township, where the city, in some cases, in order to get affordable housing credits, just donated the lots. Now, I know that's not always possible or feasible, but I think it's something that council might want to consider in an effort to gain some affordable housing.
Yes, that could possibly, that is definitely an option.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep. If there's anyone in Zoom, please raise your hand if you'd like to speak.
No hands raised in Zoom.
Okay, seeing no one, public session is now closed.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We'll start the regular meeting momentarily.
Good evening. This is the regular meeting for Northfield City Council, August 15th of 2023. This meeting has been properly advertised in the Press of Atlantic City in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, on Saturday, January 7th of this year. May I have a flag salute led by Council President Pro Tem DeWeese, please?
All right.
Please remain standing. I'd like us all to take a moment to honor the memory of retired Deputy Chief Bob Leeds from the City of Northfield Volunteer Fire Company. Bob passed away August the 13th. He was a dedicated volunteer with deep ties to the community, over 50 years of volunteer service. Thank you. Information for Bob's service will be shared by, or has been shared by, Chief Cummings and Mary Chris.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bucci?
Here.
Mrs. Carfagno?
Here.
Mr. DeWeese?
Here.
Mr. Leeds?
Here.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Palestina?
Here,
Mr. Chow? Mr. President?
thank you. May I have a motion for approval of the minutes?
I would like to make a motion for the approval of the minutes from July 18th, 2023. They have been properly advertised in the Press of Atlantic City, and a copy is located in clerk's office.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? May We have a motion for the adoption of ordinance 11-2023 bond ordinance.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 11-2023 to be read by title only. Second.
Ordinance 11 of 2023 is a bond ordinance appropriating $740,000 and authorizing the issuance of $703,000 in bonds or notes of the city of Northfield for various improvements or purposes authorized to be undertaken by the city of Northfield in the county of Atlantic, state of New Jersey. This is the second reading. There will be a public hearing after which the matter will be considered for final adoption. The ordinance is presently posted in full in the lobby of City Hall as well as on the municipal website. Since introduction, anyone who requested a copy of the ordinance would have been provided with one free of charge in the office of the municipal clerk during regular business hours. If approved this evening, it will be published a final time in the Press of Atlantic City with the required estoppel statement on August 22nd of 2023.
Thank you. And this bond, this is all projects in our capital plan, so we will discuss these if there's any other discussion. Okay, at this time, we'll now open the meeting to the public on ordinance 11-2023 and that ordinance alone. As you please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and observe a 5-minute limit per speaker. And anyone in Zoom wishing to speak, please raise your hand.
No one is Zoom.
Okay, seeing no one, the public session is now closed. Roll call.
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Carfano?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yeah.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for the adoption of ordinance 11 of 2023.
Council President, I have the mayor's annual recycling contest
Oh, okay.
recipient. Do the honors, young lady. Really?
Mix them up.
Go ahead.
And the winner is Richard, wishing it was winter. Richard Hurley of 6 Catherine Place. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Hurley. Does that conclude the mayor's report?
You don't hear my report.
Okay, engineer's report, Mr. Nasir. And we're able to do that within the contract to check budget. We don't need to be able to do it. Don't need to do anything else with that. Okay. Anyone have any objection to that?
No.
Or is there any other, I mean, is that the most, well, that street's already under construction, so it makes.
Change order.
Won't be changed, the only thing to change is the name location.
Was the street even in the big spec or was just linear feet?
We get really.
Oh,
Okay, I think I think we have no objection.
I just think,
I think change order is probably
Yeah.
cleaner and just highlight the new section.
Back to council next month.
No. Well, yeah, I guess we'll have to sign it.
not changing the quantity, it's just changing the performance of the contractor based on the map we get.
Yeah, and I think council can probably approve that change order tonight if they want. That way it gets signed and we don't have to wait till next month. Is it something that's gonna be constructed before next month, our next meeting?
I'm not sure what he's gonna do, I haven't contacted.
I would prefer it be done by change order. We can probably vote on that tonight. I don't have a resolution to that effect.
It's not money, so you can voice vote it, but if it's reduced to writing, you can't voice vote.
Let's do it in writing next meeting then.
All right.
And hopefully he doesn't. If he needs to mobilize before that, let us know, and maybe we can go ahead.
All about it.
That's it. Any other questions for our engineer? Okay, thank you. At this moment, we'll open this meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any topic, we ask you to please step forward, state your name and address for the record, and observe a 5-minute limit per speaker. And again, if anyone is in Zoom wishing to speak, please raise your hand.
Yes, I have someone in here. Hold on a second. It's like something I'm highlighting. iPad guest, can you hear me? I've given you permission to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good evening, members of City Council. This is Mayor Chow speaking. First of all, number one, I have a statement. I want to extend my condolences to Deputy Chief Leeds' family.
Mayor Chow,
we're-
if it's on speaker, would you mind taking it off speakerphone, please?
All right, let's see. Can you hear me now?
Can everybody hear him?
Yes.
All right, as I said, I want to extend my condolences to the Leeds family. I've been an active volunteer fireman since 1976, and I've had the privilege of working with Deputy Chief Leeds since then. He truly exemplifies what a volunteer is to our municipality, and he was truly a dedicated individual. So he will surely be missed. And again, I want to extend my condolences to his family. Also, I want to extend my congratulations to Mr. Hurley for winning the recycling program. A recycling bin will be delivered to your house shortly thereafter. And the last item I want to announce is that in conjunctions, and I would say that it's been going on for about 5 or 6 years now. I've had a program in conjunction with the cooperation of our local McDonald's restaurant here in Northfield that we would give as an incentive through our police department and an incentive of a free ice cream sundae donated by the, as I said, Northfield McDonald's program. It is something that I've tried to instill upon our members of the community about the importance of wearing safety helmets for our children who are riding bicycles. So shortly, within probably the end of this month, our police department members, while they're on patrol, will be distributed as an incentive and as a prize for those children who are wearing their helmets as far as bike safety is concerned. That's all I have. Thank you very much, Mr. President, and members of the City Council.
Thank you, Mayor. Hope you're feeling well.
Thank you.
Anyone else in Zoom?
No, no more hands.
No more hands? Seeing no one, the public session is now closed. On the resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and having been reviewed by council will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. May I have a motion to vote by consent agenda?
Necessary motion to vote by consent agenda, resolutions 147/2023 through 160/2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We have a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
I'd like to make the motion to adopt consent by consent agenda resolutions 147/2023 through 160/2023.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Carfano?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yeah.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for the adoption of the consent agenda.
Congratulations, you sent that.
Congratulations. Thank you. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 12-2023?
I'd like to move to introduce ordinance 20-2023 to be read by title only.
Second.
Ordinance 12 of 2023 is an ordinance amending ordinance 1 of 2023, which provides and establishes salary ranges of officers and employees of the city of Northfield in the county of Atlantic. This is the introduction. There will be no public input. The ordinance will be published in the Press of Atlantic City on August 23rd. It is presently posted in the lobby of City Hall as well as on the municipal website. And anytime up until the day of the public hearing, if a member of the public wants a copy of the ordinance, they will be provided with one free of charge in the office of the municipal clerk. There will be a second reading, a public hearing, and the matter will be considered for final adoption on September 12th.
Roll call, please. Before roll call, any questions?
Thank you.
Mrs. Pucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Carfano?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yeah.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for the introduction of ordinance 12 of 2023.
Payment of bills?
Make a motion for payment of bills of $1,502,506.15.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Bucci?
Yes.
Mrs. Carfano?
Yes.
Mr. Deweese?
Yes.
Mr. Leeds?
Yes.
Mr. Notaro? Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Palestina?
Yes.
Motion carries for payment of bill.
Meeting notices?
Next city council meeting will be September the 12th at 6 p.m. with a work session, and the regular session meeting is followed.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
That's all, folks. Motion.
Second.
Keep it waiting that on.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,